Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, we encourage, and we empower you to live a fulfilling and blessed lifestyle. I'm Anna, your host. I'm a retired school teacher, an educational consultant, a jury consultant, a health consultant, and also a certified cake instructor. And so I bring to you a wealth of knowledge and experience to our conversation. So each week and with each episode, we dive into topics that will enrich our lives, from educational and personal development to health and wellness. And also, we don't ever want to forget the art of jury. Okay. And so this is done by me bringing in workshops, doing workshops and bringing in speakers, and just sharing knowledge. So I'm asking you again just to join me as we explore inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical advice to help us live that blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. Thank you again for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, where every conversation is a treasure. So let's get started. We're going to do that commercial and we're going to come back. Tonight, our topic is on how we can support educators in our lives. And that's very, very important. We'll be right back.
One, two, three. Quiero separarme de ti, ni siquiera un momento. No quiero perder el tiempo.
All right, we are back, and I want to say welcome again to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, encourage, and empower people to live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. I'm your host, Anna L. Brothers, and tonight we're going to continue our May series focusing on honoring and encouraging educators. So in the previous episodes, we discussed why educators deserve to be celebrated, the real challenges that educators face today. And tonight, we're going to focus on something very, very important. It's very important to me. How to support the educators in your life. And I'm still an educator, but as a former educator in the school system, I think that I can speak a little bit on, kind of on this topic. So, and shed a little light just with my colleagues and us all talking. Because you know what, while educators dedicate themselves to supporting students, they also need encouragement, understanding, and care from the people around them. That's important. And I'm not just going to say educators. I'm going to say everyone. We all need that support system as well. So I always have a presentation or a little slide presentation for y'all. So we're gonna start that. I'm gonna bring that up real quick, and how to support educate in your life. Now, I'm going to apologize now if there's any misspelling or anything, because sometimes I do these slides, and even though I do them, when it comes time for me to present them, somehow or another I miss something, or there is a glitch in it as well. So I do want to show that we have someone that is listening in, and they said hello. I think it's Anna Anas Orain. Sometimes the names are very difficult for me, y'all, so I apologize for that before I even begin. But I want you to know that learning knows no bounds. There's no bounds in learning. It doesn't matter what age you are, anything like that. So before we begin, we want to kind of understand why support truly, truly matters. Um, let me go here. So tonight, our focus is going to be on practical ways that families, communities, leaders, and friends can uplift and encourage educators every day. That is what our focus is going to be on this evening. Uh, Damien says, okay, all right. We have his approval. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that we have listened. Thank you for all the listeners who's coming in this evening, which means educators are important to you as well. Supporting educators does not always require grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest act of appreciation creates the greatest impact. And I'm going to, as we go through this, I'm going to give you like some, personal experiences that have occurred in my life uh, as well as we go along. So why support matters? It matters because educators, they give so much of their time, y'all. They give a lot of themselves every day. Now you think about your day. They give their time, they give their energy, they give their creativity, they give their patience, they give emotional care. Okay? Damien is saying facts. This is true. Facts. And while many educators love what they do, constant giving without support can become overwhelming. Support matters because encouragement helps educators. Encouragement helps everyone, but it truly helps educators. It helps them stay motivated, feel appreciated, avoid a burnout, continue making a positive impact. Sometimes knowing that someone sees and values their efforts can make all the difference in the world. Thank you, Damien, for your support this evening. uh, these are all things that, I've come up with or research has shown, because I do research before I do my presentation. I got a trickle in my throat. So, we talked about why support matters, and we want to talk about the small acts, how the small acts make a big difference. Oh, I got a trickle. I got some water here, but I feel like I want to cough. I just want to say that there is one important thing to remember is that support does not always have to be expensive or elaborate. Simple acts of kindness can make a great deal. And I can give you a few examples. Sending a thoughtful message. I can remember teaching, and people would, parents would slip a little note, or the child would come and give me a little note. And you know what really would touch me more so than anything is the children in the spring. In the spring, when the flowers were blooming. You know, I have allergies from, and they would see the dandelions growing, and they would cut them, pull them and bring them to me. It's such a touching thing. That was such a touching thing. So, and that was just from the students. You get those thoughtful messages or things like that from both the parents and the students, and you can even get them from your colleagues as well. Okay, so sending a thoughtful message or just saying thank you. They appreciate it. Thank you for doing this for my child, or thank you, you know, for providing for them. And then you want to also offer encouragement during difficult seasons, and you know what I mean by difficult seasons, difficult times, because we all have them. You know what I'm saying? We all have those difficult times. And sometimes we just need someone to encourage us when we have those difficult times so that we can just keep on doing things. Damien said he always says thank you. It's a good thing to do, to always say thank you. It's just the little things that help. And don't forget about respecting the educator's personal time. Because with all of those things that they are doing, and some of them, they have families too. So they need that. They need that personal time. And what people need to understand is that they need to acknowledge that the work educators do goes way beyond the classroom. Seriously. Most people have a job where they don't have to bring it home. Educators don't have that. I know I didn't have it. Okay, and those people who have homeschooling, they never have a break unless they take, like they take off or whatever, or they have daycare in their homes. So we all have different ways that we um, deal with it, but it goes far beyond the classroom. And I don't think that I found that when I was teaching, that people understood that. There would be Sundays after I would go to church, I would have to come home and do lesson plans. They would take me all night. I would be up sometime to 12 o'clock doing them because they had to be a certain way. And believe me, you didn't want to go through the tit tat, or this is not right, you got to do it over, because those type of things did happen. Like I said, back in my day. So a small gesture, remember, it can always and it can completely change someone's day. So we're going to take another commercial, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about supporting educators at home and also in the community. Hold on just one moment. Are back, and we are going to talk about how we can support educators at home as well as in the community. Believe it or not, families and communities play a major role in supporting educators. Parents can build positive partnerships with the teachers. They can communicate respectfully. They can reinforce learning at home. And they can show appreciation consistently. And I have, you know what? I had good relationships with my parents and bad. But I am going to say this, believe it or not, and I've been retired since 2011, you all. But I have relationships with my parents that I taught their kids with. We still communicate. We still, and that's what I'm talking about. Building a positive relationship with teachers. They felt enough uh, to be able to still communicate with me. And you know what? They are all over the United States now. And I feel blessed. I feel honored. And that's why I always call this my program Sweet Blessing, because I've been blessed in so many ways, okay? Communicate respectfully, reinforce learning at home. And I found as I got older, the communication between the parents, the younger parents is a little bit different, I'm going to say that. But reinforcement learning at home, I really never had problems with that, because I mean, I taught all grades, but my degree was truly in early childhood education. And so uh, the parents were encouraged to volunteer in the classroom and do things. But, sometimes the parents worked or they did whatever. I encourage volunteering in all kinds of ways. You could volunteer for me by just taking a pack of papers home and cutting them out for me, cutting the models out for me. That's volunteering. You taking time out of your thing to do that. So, but that was also reinforcing learning at home, because the children were able to see their parents doing some things that they were going to be utilizing in the classroom. And so, showing appreciation and consistency. The community can recognize educators' uh, public publicity publicly. They can offer resources and encouragement. It can create space where educators feel valued and heard. When communities support educators, students benefit um, as well. And so you'll see educators of the year. You see awards like that. Resources and encouragement, the library, or different functions and stuff that's going on to educate the community. Creating a space where educators feel valued and heard. I believe that's the library, as well as colleges and things like that. So I'm thinking that when the community and stuff like that, when they come together to support educators, guess who benefits? Your children. Your children truly benefit. Um, Damien saying communicate commercial. Okay. You like that commercial? Okay, I love it. All right. Thank you so much for your support. You are really making my evening this evening with your comments. I'm glad you like that commercial. Um, so it's important, but you know what? The most important thing, I think, is the importance of listening. Sometimes, y'all, we forget to listen. Okay? It's not about fixing the problem. Sometimes we just want to be heard. Okay? We just want, you know, sometimes, like my daughter, she calls me sometimes and she says, Mom, I just want to vent. Which means she just wants me to listen. She just wants me to listen to what she has to say. And that's what I do. I try. I try. Okay. So sometimes educators are not about fixing problems, it's about listening. Educators need space where they can share honestly, express their frustrations, because that's what she was doing. She was expressing her frustration, but also celebrate victories, because she does call. She doesn't always call me for her frustrations, but she also calls me with her victories, when she's happy and everything. And you want to feel, understand, listening with compassion and empathy can be one of the greatest forms of support. And sometimes people listen, but then they don't want to hear what you have to say if they ask you for your opinion. So you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful of that as well. But the most important thing, I believe, is that is listening. You got to be able to listen. But you know what, too? Sometimes educators need to care for themselves, too. I know we want support and all of that, but sometimes we have to take things and do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. And so, support also means reminding educators that their well being matters too. Your well being matters too. So, we want to encourage educators to rest without guilt. Okay. We want to rest without guilt. You want to set healthy boundaries. You want to set those healthy boundaries for yourself. Also, you want to prioritize self-care. You want to celebrate the progress instead of perfection. And I want you to remember that a healthy educator is better able to continue serving with others with joy and purpose. And with that, we are going to take another commercial, and we're going to come back and we're going to reflect a little bit. You know how I am about that reflecting. I always believe that you need to show some type of reflecting, or what is good about this, what's not good about this. And I think that should be a part of your life. And so anything that I do or think, I always kind of reflect, have some reflecting moments on it as well. So let's take that brief commercial, and we will be right back. It's very, very brief. All right. See what I mean? Remember I told you I do this, and then here's an example of reflection moment. You can see when I put it up there, it was all together, but then as you can see now, they have taken it and did whatever they want to do with it. But we want to take a moment and think about an educator in your life. Just think about it. How can you encourage them this week? Think about that. And it doesn't have to be a teacher, a classroom teacher. There are all types of educators. I keep trying to, tell people that. But how can you encourage them this week? Think about it. The next thing that I want you to reflect on is, have I taken time to acknowledge their impact? You know, sometimes people really need to be appreciated. So we have, well, when I was on the church council, we have members on the church council that really did things, but no one ever said or gave them or acknowledged that they were doing something good. And it's always good to have that come from a fellow peer or someone that's on there to acknowledge the good things that they're doing, and to pass it on. We all need, remember what I told you, because even though it's the church council, you're educating um, your parishioners about the Bible and different other things as well. So, and then reflect on what simple act of kindness could brighten their day. So, sometimes when we have birthdays, I just give them a card. We even have a card in a card stand in the fellowship hall, because sometimes you forget your cards, and which is a great idea. So if you forget it, you can always go there. I mean, there's all kinds, all occasions, sympathy, birthday. I mean, just all occasions, so you can pick a card and give it. And just giving that card just brightens up someone's day, because you don't know, you never know what people are going through, because you don't live with them. So sometimes one encouraging moment can stand with a person for years, and that's the truth. I was what you call a no nonsense teacher. Oh, just busy, busy, busy. Always focus, focus, focus. Oh, and at one point in my life, my parents made me so angry, because I was trying to do something, and they said, "Well, Miss Brothers, come on in here." And I came in the room, and they all said, "Surprise, y'all." I had no idea that they were giving me a birthday party. They were truly, truly irritating me. Do you see? You know how long I've been retired. I still remember that moment. It was precious to me. I cried. It touched me so much. And they had did it all behind my back. I had no idea. Everybody was in on it. The principal, everybody. I had no idea. And I was irritated, because they were keeping me from doing what I wanted, my accomplishing what I wanted to do. So just reflect on it. You never know how you're going to touch someone in their lives as you go along. And at this point, I do want to, because I do have a book coming out, and the conversations that I'm having are part of a larger movement to celebrate and support educators through authentic stories and shared experiences, y'all. So I do have an upcoming collaborative book coming out, and it's going to be launched in June. And what it does, it highlights the voices from educators across different educational settings, and it reminds us of the importance of encouragement, sustainability, and community. So you still have time to pre-order this book, and you may pre-order it at childcarejourney.com. Anna. So if you're interested, it's a great book. It's a great book to give as a gift to someone as well. So now, guess what time it is? Hold on. Let me go up here. This is my special segment here that I want to. I always like to highlight an educator. So we have our drum roll. And so it is now time. Woo! It is now time for Sweet Blessings Educator Spotlight, y'all. So tonight we're going to shine our Sweet Blessing Spotlight on families and communities, members who actively support educators. Your encouragement, partnership, and appreciation helps create stronger classrooms and stronger communities. Thank you for recognizing the value of educators and the work they do every day. I applaud you. Okay. We're going to take our last commercial for this evening, and then we are going to come back, and I'm going to close this out this evening. Alrighty, I wanted to show you the Soul Lady wigs. Remember I told you that they are one of my affiliates, and tonight I do have on one of my wigs. I love wearing wigs, y'all, but sometimes I have my own. I have my own personal summer, so I have difficulty sometimes wearing them. But I love them, and I really and truly love the salt and pepper ones. They really, I reached that age, and I just love them. So that is my link there. You can take a screenshot. You can go there, and you can get a discount by using that link as well. So this evening, I want to give you some encouragement for some blessings in regards to the educators. So I want the educators everywhere to feel appreciated, supported, and encouraged. May they be surrounded by people who recognize their value and uplift them during both joyful and challenging seasons. And may we all remember that supporting educators is an investment in the future of our children and community. It's important that you understand that. So, with that being said, I do want to thank you for joining me tonight for this episode of Sweet Blessings. But before I go, I do want to say just a few things that I probably, sometimes I forget, but we'll come back to thank you. But at this point, I want to put this up. As many of you know, I am part of the CTR Media Network. And we are, it's a black owned network, and we're making history. It's very, very young. It's only been around for maybe 5 years. But in that 5 years, we are 300K plus on social media. And we're reaching over 175 countries, y'all. This is a global network. And we have the potential of 3.6 billion listeners. That's with the media, the TV, and the podcast. And a lot of you might not know that even though it is a podcast, I'm also on TV as well and YouTube. So I say this to say, Sweet Blessings offers advertisement, sponsors, commercials, partnerships, and guest slots. And you can secure your spot at info at Anna's Lifestyle LLC. Sweet Blessings offers advertising, sponsorships, commercials, partnerships, and guest slots. You can secure your spot at info at Anna's Lifestyle LLC.com. I offer packages. This is a good way for you to get out there and get your business out there. There is a fee. I'm not going to lie to you, but my fees are nominal. I just want to encourage you, whether it's advertising, whether it's a sponsorship, whether you want to put a commercial on. And I do offer partnerships. I love having guests on. So remember, it's info at Anna's Lifestyle LLC.com. And then if you're interested in my website, this is my website. Those listeners who are on Facebook, you can support me by sending stars. And I always ask people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is listed down there below as well. Now, I talked to you and I told you I'd go live on Facebook. So this is my Facebook profile, and I go live on there with my jewelry 3 times a week. So I do want to encourage you to support me, to subscribe, to follow, to like, because it does help me out a lot. And I want to thank everyone because for the past, from January, February, March, and April, I have been in the top 10. So I want to thank my listeners for that as well, because I really cannot do that without you. So, and that also lets me know that I am presenting something of interest to you, and I want to thank you again for that. So, with that being said, let me remove this real quick. I want to thank you again. And if this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who supports education, a parent or an educator who might need encouragement today. And remember, sometimes the smallest act of support creates the greatest impact. Until next time, keep shining your light and continue spreading those blessings. And I'm going to leave you with my 3 L's. You know how important they are. The first L is that you want to live your life. Live your life to the fullest. It's important that you do that because you get self-gratification. The second thing that you want to do is to laugh. Laughter is very good for you. It really makes you feel good. And then the third thing is love. Love yourself. Remember to love yourself. Self-love is very, very, very important. I hope to see you all next Wednesday with a topic. We're supporting those educators. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Sweet blood.